mystery and horror, the air itself is filled with monsters.
Children of the night, what music they make. It's alive! It's alive!
Well, hello all you monster fiends, and thank you for joining us for another deep dive, factoid-filled episode exploring Hollywood's most famous monsters. I am your mistress of ceremonies, Sam, and I am joined, as always, by Dan from Bleeding Marvelous. Say hello, Dan.
Hiya! There was far too much dumb shit for me to even try and get out in that film, so I'm just going to reserve.
I was actually thinking when I was watching it, oh, she'd probably use that. Oh, she might use that one. She could use that one. Damn it! Yeah, I get what you mean. She's been very tight-lipped about this. She wouldn't even talk about this off air either. So I'm interested to hear what she's got to say.
Oh,
Hi, everyone. Oh my God. Hi, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Monsters Up North podcast. We are still in our Slashoween era. And this week it was my pick. Yay. Yay. Thank you. And I picked one of the best worst movies ever. Broken Lizard's Club Dread. I thought it could appeal to you in some way. It had Bill Paxton in it. Oh, for fuck's sake, right? I'm going to do the disclaimer. And then we're going to crack on open, because I really need to hear what she's got to say. Broken Lizard's Club Dread. So, everything discussed in today's episode is our opinions and our opinions alone. If you'd like to discuss anything from today's episode, please come and join us on our socials. Or you can join us in the comment section where we can have an open discussion. What we won't have is anyone coming for us and telling us our opinions are wrong, because we can all agree to disagree in fandom. So let's keep it fun, keep it kind, and keep the toxic behaviour out of nerdism.
Do not be a dick. Thank you.
There you go. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks. Sure. Broken Lizard's Club Dread is a 2004 comedy slasher. Get ready for this, kids. Directed by J. Shandaskar.
Bless you.
Thank you. And written and starring the comedy troupe Broken Lizards, which consists of Jay, not even going to try and say his surname again, Kevin Heffernan, Steve Lemire, Paul Sohoka, Eric Stolhansky, scoring an impressive 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. From the warped minds who brought you Super Troopers, Monsters of North brings you... Can't remember now. Broken Lizards Club Dread.
AKA Coconut Pete.
That is genuinely the only tagline for this movie. From the warped minds who brought you Super Trooper. All of the comedy bits in this, and that's the tagline. Right.
Kind of like they gave up a bit, isn't it? It's like they just went, we've run out of ideas now. You get what you get.
Well, they didn't give up on this film, because I still think it's hilarious. I was thinking last night, how did I find this? Because I knew of Super Troopers, but I didn't become a fan of Super Troopers until after I'd seen this. So this is like my gateway into them. And I was like, how the hell on my own did I find this? Because if I mention it to anyone, either they've seen it and went, ugh, or they've never heard of it. And I don't know. 2004 came out. That's the year I started my actual day job I have now.
21 years ago, yeah.
Do not remind me how long I have been there.
23. I got 2 on you, so.
I was 21 when I walked into that building. I am 42.
Those were the days, my friend.
I will start singing that song. I am interested. What did you think of it? Oh my God, you're killing me.
I don't have the vocabulary to really explain
How brilliant
how
it
I
was.
feel about this film, because Bill Paxton.
Well, yeah.
Love that man like he would be my own father, right? He is everything good about Weird Science, Twister, you name it. That man just lights up a movie. And he is the only thing that lit up in this film for me. If it wasn't for Coconut Pete, and I have to say, long hair really suited him.
He did. However, the
I know
wigs
there
were
was
fucking terrible in this.
I know he had extensions because you could see his real hair at the top. So I know they were like bonded in or tracks or something. I don't know what they did with his hair, but they had him in a hat most of the time. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just sewed like a weave or weft around the hat and then stuck it on his head.
It's probably the best thing that they did because the rest of the hair choices were horrific.
Kevin's mullet,
Oh my God,
Lars,
what was
Lars, yeah,
that?
the curly and
The
then the
curly with
long
the
beard. I'm not really sure what Jay was trying to achieve with the ducks and the British accent. I was so confused with what that was about. I was like,
So just to talk about the comedy troupe for a second,
yeah,
because this is a group of guys who have been together since 1989 in their university days, and they've had many a names, but landed. What they used to do short videos under the name Charred Goosebeak. But then they continue, and it actually still that whole troupe name still gets continued on as of today in Colgate, the college that they went to. But they ended up breaking off and they became Broken Lizards, and they literally are just a comedy troupe, improv, sketch. And they landed it big with Super Troopers, and they went on to do this Oktoberfest and Super Troopers 2, which I have never seen yet, and I don't particularly want to. People may know them who for dropping in on the Impractical Jokers because it's kind of like the same style that they started as, not in that they got the same comedy style as Impractical Jokers, but initially the starting point is very similar. Jay, oh God, where he just pops up everywhere now and again.
mhm. He's so familiar. Out of the whole cast, the two that I recognised the most was Kevin and Jay.
Yeah, well, Kevin, for all you How I Met Your Mother's fans, is the fake Ted Mosby from he's the porn star. And Jay, if you're a Jackass fan, he is the guy who does probably one of, I don't know how it would look now, but he did the prank with Aaron when he kidnapped him. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
remember that
Jay.
one.
Jay is in the car. Jay is the taxi driver. I'm sure he's been in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
He's been in loads
Um,
of stuff, Jay. He just, the minute I saw him, I was like,
mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. It takes me a while to warm up to Putman, but by the end, he is very funny. So
You'll have to remember which one's that.
the Dreads one, Jay,
Oh, the
yes.
Jay. Yeah, Jay,
Yeah.
sorry. I get
Putman, he's a
confused with
tennis player.
the character names and the name names, so you'll have to bear with me. Because this is like I say, I've watched this once and that was Tuesday. So it's not in there. It's there,
Yeah.
but it's not in there.
Yeah. I've got bits and pieces that we can talk about as we go along, but really there's not a great deal when it comes down to the making of this film. Maybe because they wanted it just to disappear. I don't know. Personally, I think it is the me and Anth were talking about this the other day, and this is a homage to the slasher genre, but it is not a piss take, and it is definitely not a parody. That's how we thought about it anyway. I don't feel like this is shitting on the slasher genre. It has so many tropes of the slasher genre, which are hilarious. Maybe taken a little bit too far towards the end, but it kind of still hits the sweet spot.
I only have one question really that comes out of this. How much money did they pay Jordan Ladd to get her boobs out?
I don't even think they're her boobs.
Well, it
I
did
think
look
she's wearing a
weird.
breastplate.
It did look weird. I will give it that. I mean, it was one of two things, a head replacement from CGI, because we know they're of a time where, because they have the double scene with Putman versus Putman. You can
Yeah.
tell that the CGI was good for that time that they did
Hmm.
use. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was a body double with a head replacement of Jordan. But all I kept thinking was Jordan Ladd isn't famous for getting her knockers out.
And they did not look like hers.
So I thought that was a bit of a shock when that happened. Not because I'm a prude, but you're just like, how the hell did they manage that? I was more kind of taken aback with the fact that she had her boobs out. I was like, excuse me,
I really think that's
Jordan
a
Ladd.
breastplate. It's the collarbone here. It's disjointed to the actual collarbone.
Right, so it didn't look blended in properly.
No, it doesn't look right. So
Right.
I've always thought it was a breastplate that she had on, or it's not her.
Yeah.
What gets me though is seeing Lauren from USA High whipping her top off within the first 2 minutes of this film. I was like, I've just seen. I used to watch you on a teen show. What are you doing? If they are hers, impressive.
It's the running around. I mean, they use so many tropes in this, don't they? So
So
I mean,
many, even
I
in the
give them
first
their
few
due
minutes.
for that. Yeah, like in the first opening scene, I counted about 3 or 4.
Hmm. But it's the end bit. It does get a bit silly. But we'll go through the film. So well, in my style of going through the film, I'm not going to be as good as Dan was last week. We've established how great she is at leading an episode. Even the intro was brilliant. Mine, I can't even pronounce half the names in it.
Told you, phonetics, phonetics. It's
I
how I do
tried,
it.
I tried, and I still couldn't. To me, it's just letters.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a camp. It's not definitely not a summer camp or anything like that. It's an adult themed island owned by the one and only Coconut Pete, who is an absolute blatant rip-off of Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett is Margaritaville. Got some really good restaurants in America as well.
Not Pina Colada Town or whatever it was called.
Polina Coladaville.
That's it.
Yeah, they actually approached Jimmy Buffett because obviously they were gonna be mentioning him, and it is very like the same kind of thing. Pina Coladaville, Margaritaville, and he loved it. He absolutely loved it. And he gave permission to whatever you need. It's fine, you can use it. And I think because it's Bill Paxton more than anything, so yeah, the Jimmy was totally on board with Coconut Pete. And to be honest, I prefer Coconut Pete. His songs were hilarious. Come on.
Pac-Man, the Pac-Man song.
The cow one? It made no fucking sense.
None of them did. I actually looked up the lyrics on some of them today because I just thought someone reminded me when I was looking for the 1-star review. Someone literally put the whole song of the Pac-Man song down in the lyrics. So I read it through and I was like, what on earth? Because I wasn't really listening to I got the gist of it, but because you're watching what's happening, I wasn't really taking in
Oh.
the lyrics of the song. So I was just like, what the hell? No sense whatsoever. But it makes sense because Broken Lizard don't seem to make sense.
No. The comedy styling is so much out of old improv. Like, and it's funny to them, doesn't necessarily mean it's funny to you.
Yeah, I think that is what it is. I think for me, they have a very niche type of humor. Now, people would say, like, when you look at someone like the Boosh are very niche, the way
Yeah.
that their humor is, but you either get it or you don't. But I felt like Club Dread was they all had their own in jokes in the movie, but they didn't share them with anybody except for each other. And so,
Yeah.
like, there's these moments that happen, and you're like, I don't get it. Was I supposed to get it? And like they're all, anything tits and ass gets a laugh, which is fine. It is what it is. That is the biggest theme that runs through this: sex, tits, and ass.
Oh,
Um,
a lot of sex.
so like you just go to the point where you're just like, well, we understand that the premise of a slasher movie is because you're having the sex before marriage, the whole morality
Yeah.
slasher
And
issue.
there's
But
a
I don't
lot of it going on.
I don't think it was that deep. So I was just
No, probably not. I think if you watch it, if you like me and you like to be honest, this is the first time I've seen it in a long time, but for a very long period of time, it's like I watched it constantly. You get to be more in on the in joke. You start to get it more. But if it's your first viewing, I totally get where you can feel a little bit alienated by their style and how they do things. But if you know, go and watch Super Troopers, it doesn't feel like that.
no.
Super Troopers is so different.
Yes. See, I've seen Super Troopers and I found that hilarious, Super Troopers.
It's so good.
It has that little level of uncomfortability at the same time of being like edging on taking it too far, but they don't quite get there and they pull it back just before. But I feel like this one went over the too far to get that extra laugh.
Yeah.
And it's like, did you need it that much? Was it really lacking that you needed to just
It's just my level of
no?
humor.
And I'm not
Stupid.
knocking at anyone that found this
No,
funny.
yeah.
You know, it is one of those things where if it was like you, if I'd watched it more than once or I knew of this film, then I might have some sort of like fond
Hmm.
thingy, like you
Yeah.
say, I might be able to empathize with the characters or understand the humor more. But I've not dipped a toe in that, so
What I was really worried about actually rewatching it after so long was, are my 42-year-old eyes gonna appreciate this? Like, is it gonna am I gonna be am I gonna be thinking you've made a terrible choice? Because I understand what kind of choice I have made here. I am not blinded by that. But it's the only time I will ever get to talk about this film because Paul doesn't like it. Dan clearly don't like it. And she had no choice because it was my pick.
but that's the thing, you know, there's going to be films we review that we don't like. There's going to be films, I mean, there has been. This is our 100th episode.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
this is our 100th episode. So, you know, there's going to be films in the last 100 that you go back that we just sit there and go, what the fuck? Mainly Nosferatu, but you know,
That's probably the first one that comes to mind. But
yeah.
to be honest, if you go and watch the Sleepaway Camp episode, we spent the entire of the time, bearing in mind this is one of my favourite slash movies of all time, not only taking the piss out, we laugh all the way through it. It's probably not even watchable,
No, probably not. But
but I found it hilarious.
it's one of those films that is a constitution, though, that film in horror.
Yeah.
It is a staple in
Mhm.
horror. But
Agreed.
you know, it knows it didn't have a lane when it came out. It was unlike anything you'd seen because of the big reveal, obviously. So everybody, oh, hello. So everybody was very taken aback when that
What's
happened.
that?
You know, I knocked my lead
Oh, I
to
thought
the
you were
ring
reacting
light.
to the film.
No, I knocked my lead to the ring light.
You could have gotten away with that. I'm only
I'm
joking.
now
Who
but
cares?
honest. Now but
Oh,
honest.
who cares? So yeah, they're on a resort in Costa Rica, and the description of it is owned by washed-up musician Coconut Pete. Clearly, he's at the end of. Well, you think he is until later on when there's like a little bit of a reveal, but you think he's like at the end of this is like the end of his career kind of thing, end of days. He's bought an island and let's just get some younguns drunk and he can have, you know, a blissfully unaware crazy time. And you meet now before you meet any of the actual people who you are going to be spending your entire time with here, you meet Rollo, Stacy, and Kelly. Now, Kelly, I believe, is the one from USA High. I just don't have her details here because clearly she wasn't that important for me to write it down. So yeah. No, Kelly's the blonde-haired one. Stacy is the yeah. Stacy is the one from USA. Can you remember USA High? Rockin' Eddie USA High.
Never watched it.
Well, it was on the same level as California Dreams.
Oh, see, I loved California Dreams. That's where I lived. I was in that camp.
Well, USA High was like a rivalry kind of thing to it.
That's why I was probably like, no, not watching that. It
was boarding school in France, I think, with USA students. Honestly, it was the it was great.
choices. Some choices made that day.
There've been a lot of choices. So instantly you get your first glimpse of tropiness, of slasher tropiness anyway, through this opening scene with Kelly Rollo and Stacey, who are off for a little sexual jaunt. That I love the fact that they're walking in the Costa Rican jungle and they come across an abandoned graveyard out of nowhere. It looks like Pet Cemetery. I was very confused for a second. I was like, "Are we in Pet Cemetery?" And I love the fact that she's like, "Oh, I want a bit more privacy. I can hear all these noises, all these like movements." And she went, "What about the mausoleum? Where the
No,
fuck did that just come from?"
magic.
Yeah. So Rollo ends up getting sliced and diced. And the two girls do it's very scary movie-esque, this part,
Mm.
with the running in the jungle, and they both go in the opposite directions, waving their arms around, and they both get killed. And then you go back to the beginning.
Yeah, an hour. It goes 1 hour earlier, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So then you go back to the beginning where you meet who's going to be your main antagonist. What's he called? Lars. Lars Bronkenhorst. That's what his full name was. And he is a Buddhist pacifist masseur.
Of course he is. With
Yeah.
the worst mullet you've ever seen.
The hair is absolutely horrific. I always thought it was dreads, Like he had like these horrible like tatty dreads, and I was like, oh no, that's
There's
curls.
That's random extensions plugged in a curly super noodle bonce is what that is. Like straight. We're not even talking like with a nice little wave on these odd little bits. They are dead straight. Literally like straightened straight. Little bonded extensions stuck into what I can only call like a really tight super noodle perm. Like, and then these really long, like random bits. I can't even. I mean, I'm not sure if it's a mullet. I called it a mullet because it's the closest thing I can push it to, but I don't even think it's a mullet.
It's absolutely horrendous. The hairstylist on this was a Francesco Javier Alcaraz. Um, but what really got me actually was the makeup artist was Chris Bergener. Now, the name might not sound familiar. However, he has done work on Ender's Game, The Punisher, and Star Trek Discovery. But what you might know him for is The Pit.
Oh,
I know, I thought that might be pique your interest there a little bit.
well, if you ever
Um,
watch The Pit, the special effects work on that movie is on the TV series is it's just
I'm
it's
gonna
the
watch it.
realism. The amount of doctors that review that and say how realistic every single injury, all the things that happen, how
Yeah,
realistic they all look, and how much time and effort they put into making it authentic. So, wow, that's what on
impressed.
earth? I mean, I suppose we all start somewhere.
Well, he also worked on ER as well, which would make a lot of sense. However, now this is the special effects makeup artist. This is not hair or general
Yes.
beauty makeup. Did you see some of the slash and dashes in these people though? Especially Cliff when he gets, in the maze, right across the stomach. That is horrific. That is like gruesome. So that side of the makeup department was spot on, and
Mm.
clearly, given the person who's did it, but so he's got these, I thought, really impressive like credits, especially when it comes down to medicals, and
Yeah.
cuts and whatnot. ER, The Pit, NCIS Los Angeles, Star Trek Discovery, Perry Mason, Little Britain USA. Yeah, yeah,
Uh, okay.
yeah. Mhm.
I do
Yeah,
not recall such a thing, and I don't think I want to, but okay.
yeah. But he's actually the key special effects makeup artist on The Pit. So I thought I thought that might have piqued your interest a little bit.
Mm.
But
Nice
yeah,
hit.
he didn't do the hair though, thank Christ.
Yes, no, I'm
It
very
was the
pleased
one.
with
It was the one thing. It wasn't just thing you said. It was Jay's hair, the dreads.
that. Oh,
It just didn't sit naturally on his head. There
you
was
could tell
no
it was,
hairline.
yeah,
It was so weird.
it was like made like a hat.
Uh
That's
huh.
what felt like he was wearing a hat. It wasn't like proper Rastafari dreads, which is
Yeah.
what I presume they were trying to pull off, like proper Rastafari dreads. But it made no sense why he spoke with an upper class English accent and he had these massive like Jamaican dreads. I was so confused. I was like,
Oh, Jenny. So
I mean, he
yes,
did pretty well. I'll give him his due. English accents
he
go.
kept it up.
He wasn't horrific at it. Like you get the odd word which they struggle with when doing an English accent. But yeah, he did pretty well. I'll give him his due. For I'd say about 80% of the time he was pretty much on it. You know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wasn't insulted, put it that way.
Oh no. But he kept it up the whole time. So out of the actual troupe themselves, you have Lars, who is played by Kevin Heffernan. Then you got Sam, who is the fun police.
Mm.
His smile is beautiful. His acting, not so much. You've got Steve Lemire, who played Juan Has Castillo. I fucking love Juan. He is absolutely adorable. There is so much that they cut out of his backstory that when you get down to the reveal of why he was in prison for, it makes no fucking sense why they brought it up because there's meant to be all these hints dropped in to like lead you up to because it's like it's trying to steer you in different directions of what he actually did to be in prison because we don't even know that he was in prison until that point and then they were going to do this whole reveal of he had sex with a goat. It was because everything was going to be like so terror like I mean don't get us wrong, sex with a goat is fucking horrible
Yeah.
and if I ever found out anyone ever do that I'll fucking kill yous because goat's a spirit animal. But yeah, they missed so much out with that character. Also his name why do I keep wanting to pronounce the J? Juan Castillo is, in English, Johnny Castle,
Yes.
who is Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really clever. And then you've got Jay, who plays Putman, who's a tennis player. Oh, sorry, I should say Sam's a fun police. I did say that. Lars is a masseur. Juan is a dive master. Putman is a tennis instructor. And Dave is the DJ, who is constantly. How that man was still alive after the amount of ease he was taking was ridiculous.
He was definitely functioning on some higher plane for him to still be alive, for sure.
He would have been chomping his own face off with the amount
Yeah.
that he took. And so that's your main, that they're your troop. And then you've got your supporting cast of Brittany Daniel. That woman is just absolutely fucking beautiful. Absolutely stunning. And I love the fact that she has such a great sense of humour. Not a sense of humour, just the genuine balls to do what she did on Always Sunny in the character that she played.
But she took the punches in this film. Like
Mm-hmm.
they threw things in her face. She took it.
Mm-hmm.
Like going from Sweet Valley High, which is where majority of people will know the Daniel sisters, Cynthia and Brittany.
Mm-hmm.
They were the bitchy kids. You couldn't stand them, but they were on the front of every book. They were on on the TV series. They were the girls that you hated, but you needed to know what they were going to do in the next one,
Mm-hmm. Oh
And
yeah.
so going from the bitchy school kid to then going up into Joe Dirt and
Mean
Sunny and
White
this and
Cheeks.
yeah, White Chicks. She plays the same character in White Chicks that Sweet Valley High-esque, but with more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first time I think in me watching her, I have seen her play a sweet character.
Yeah, no, that's fair to say. Yeah.
She was genuinely sweet throughout this whole thing, and the physical acting from her was unreal. I really like her, and it always blows my mind that her sister is married to bloody what's he called from Yellowstone? Rip.
Oh, the main guy, the Kelly's husband.
Yes.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
not seen Yellowstone.
Honestly, he ruins all men for everyone because he's perfect and he looks perfect. But it's weird because he doesn't look like that in his early career. It's like he put weight on and had a glow up at the same time. It's like it would have should have you would have thought it would have went the other way, but it didn't. He just looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. So then you've got Brittany Daniels, who is the aerobics instructor who has hit the big time after her TV show, her aerobics TV show manages to get her the main spot after two people get killed on it.
Coincidentally.
Love the fact. Oh, which is like, he's like, oh, congratulations are in order. Oh yeah, I'm really psyched. Even though Amy had to eat, it was found dead through rat poison. But I'm really happy. Love it. Love it. Yeah, and then you've got Coconut Pete, who is your host, and then you've got his bouncer bodyguard, Hank, former director of the FBI homicide department. It was almost like, are you meant to be John Douglas, like a really hardened version of John Douglas? Because you couldn't get any further from John Douglas with this man if you tried. Hank is someone who I feel like I've seen so many times and could not name one thing that he's been in.
Oh, he's been in loads of stuff. He's in Con Air.
Yeah, I saw that on his thingy. Who is he in Con Air?
He flies the plane. He's the guy, the
Oh,
pilot
that's right.
who takes over when they realise that they've been betrayed. He flies the big plane. So.
And then you got Lindsay Price as you, which is obviously a joke that gets used way too many times. Anyone who recognizes them, Lindsay Price, she is in Beverly Hills 90210. The woman is fucking beautiful. You've got Carlos, who just works at there, and then Rollo, Stacey Kelly, who got killed, Cliff, who you barely see but he gets murdered, and Marcel, who couldn't even tell you where he was in the film. But there you cast and your crew. There's obviously you've got your islanders as well, who they're party goers who have come in, and there's a few familiar faces, but not someone I thought that was important enough to get the names for.
Fair.
So yes, you're introduced to your whole staff members, and I can't remember when it starts going wrong, because we know that not long after the beginning part, Stacey, Rollo, and Kelly disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then is it the kitchen? There's also stuff covered anybody by the kitchen. Oh, that's right. So it's on the night time. So Lars is having his introduction into the bar, and it's on the night that they discover one of the bodies, and it just goes tits up from there.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah, quite literally. I don't feel like you enjoyed this at all.
Like I say, I remember parts of it, but not really all of it. Like,
Yeah.
I remember, I think what is the next-ish bit, which is in the maze, the Pac-Man game.
That's yes.
Is that
So
the next bit, or have I got jumped too far ahead?
a little bit too far ahead, because
Right.
they have that whole initiation night, and they have the beach scene where Dave starts telling people a story about Machete Phil.
Can I just say, I give them their kudos. That is a fantastic name. I love the fact they called him Machete Phil. I just think that is so ridiculous, and I love that idea, because it is very Boosh, that, you know, picking a random name.
Well, do you want to know the story?
Go on.
I've got the script. Okay. So, where is it? Oh, sorry, I've just shit a brick there. Someone's just jumped on a carrier bag. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Have you ever heard the story of Machete Maniac? And all the crowd goes, no. And he's like, oh, well, I don't think you guys, it's too scary for you guys to get. No, really, really. So he goes, all right, okay, what the hell? This must have been like years ago, you know. We had a kid working at the club named Phil Coletti. And one night, it was a night a lot like tonight. This gorgeous woman came into the club, asked him if he wants to go out to the jungle. He's like, yeah, why not? So they split. And as they started getting into the jungle, further and further away from the lights of the club, she starts asking him these questions like, Does he believe in local legends of the island, zombie, voodoo? He's not too worried about it. He just rolls right over and starts putting the screws to her. Sorry, I'm really trying to stop myself laughing. But something doesn't feel right to Coletti. But he can't see shit. It's pitch black. So he just keeps banging away. And then, boom, a flash of lightning hits up the whole island. And in that one moment, Coletti looks around and sees that not only is he out in the middle of that old Mayan, I can't say it properly, Mayan cemetery, not only are all these other guys from the resort standing around watching him, he's been having sex with a corpse. A cold, white, dirty from the grave dead body. Phil Coletti calmly walked to the groundskeeper's shack, found a machete, and chopped these staff members into hundreds of pieces. And they say he took that same machete, chopped his own dick off, and ran screaming into the jungle. Nobody ever saw him after that. But from that point on, Phil Coletti was forever known as Machete Phil. And then it goes, are you telling me there's some total deranged, dickless dude running around out there? All I'm saying is, don't go into the jungle alone. If I wouldn't go into the jungle alone if I can help it, because he can hear him. And I've heard crying out, where's my penis? Where's my penis?
That's an urban legend and a half, isn't it?
And then they do the whole joke, and that boy was me. And that's where Jay ruins it. The minute I heard that story, I was like, I've got to find it. Oh my God, it took me 20 minutes to hunt down the actual script and then be able to cut and paste from it. And I was like, by the time I'd found it and like cut it out, I was like, I can't be asked to take all the little bits out, which is why I was stopping and starting because there's people talking in between it. And that's the story of Machete Phil. And that's the urban legend that sits on this island.
I like I like the name and the fact that it was quite a simple setup with him. It was a poncho,
Yeah.
like a Mayan style poncho, but then he had like it looked like a kind of tiki mask, but
Yeah.
not. It was very similar to Final Girls. It had like that kind of same
Oh shit,
Killer and
yeah.
Final Girls. It had like a same kind of thing, but this was more Mayan than sort of tiki inspired. I think
Yeah.
it's hard I don't know. It was you didn't really get a lot of like very clear close-ups of Machete. They
No.
were all far away, or it was very dark, or
Yeah.
yeah. So
It was a weird choice, but I feel as a serial killer garb goes, it did the job. You knew who when they were walking around, you knew exactly like, oh, there's Machete Phil.
yes. Can you imagine if they named them like, oh, there's Claw Fingers Freddy, there's Kitchen Knife Mike, uh, there's Machete Jason, like
Oh, I don't think it has the same ring really as Machete Phil.
I mean I like Machete Phil. I think it's good. It's like it's got that whole thing of like I say, they were very clever in the ways where they almost had it for me, and then they
Mhm.
do something and you just be like, oh fuck's sake, why?
Yeah, Dan is right when there's the humor in this is tits and ass.
Yeah, and I ain't
A
got a problem
lot.
with tits and
No,
ass.
me neither. Like, I'm not a prude in the slightest, but it just get to a point where you're like, am I the next joke? But again, my sense of humor is so weird that I do find shit like on repeat funny. Um, so with this, I'm not. Do you know what? Even though I watched it last night, even I'm struggling to piece together the actual timeline of it. We were introduced to Penelope, which is Jordan Ladd. Um, her real name is Penelope, but Juan can't pronounce Penelope. He can only say it phonetically, which to him is Penelope.
I think
And
it's much
it,
better than Penelope. So to all of our Penelopes, you are now going to be hereby referred to as Penelope from
yeah,
now.
it actually comes down. It comes from when Jay and Kevin Heffernan watched Carlito's Way. Penelope Ann Miller's name came up on the screen, and behind them, a man turned around and said, Penelope, what kind of name is Penelope?
Amazing.
So that's where the idea for that came from. And it does work. And it's funny that nobody corrects him on it, but everyone still calls her Penelope.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes across that, so Juan is upset. He has this little infatuation with Penelope. And she kind of like, she's quite cold with him to start with. And then it looks like she's starting to get into bunny boiler territory. Until she goes to reveal a hue, because they do think that Penelope's the killer. At one point, and it does look like she's going to reveal this big massive secret, and all it is that she's a gymnast who's ran away from a trainer.
She's an Olympic gymnast.
Yeah,
Which
and that was it.
obviously Juan was very impressed with at the time. So
Where did she go to? Oral Roberts. No, and he's thinking in his head, is that the same as oh god, I can't even remember the joke now. I know the end bit is Dirty Sanchez. Yeah. So Penelope's been scratched out, she is not. They do have a scene where they believe that Coconut Pete's song is the answer to the killer.
yeah,
Um,
the quotes keep going up on the board, don't they?
yeah. But in actual fact it means jack shit.
Yeah. None of his song lyrics make any sense. They're about crabs and shit.
Ridiculous. But yeah, so they on this they're kind of thinking that this song has something to do with the way that the people are being killed. But what they really come to realize is they're only after the staff. So the people, all the rest of them are safe, which I kind of like that idea, because it means that it's not open season and we have to worry about all these other people. We can just concentrate on the main staff. But then it gets to the point where everyone's accusing everyone of God knows, they're the killer, they're the killer. When in actual fact, it was Sam. Sam was the killer.
And
Spoilers.
Sam is literally next to Michael Myers' level of trying to be able to kill that man.
Oh, that got ridiculous. The final showdown. So everyone dies except Juan, Penelope,
Lars and
Lars and Jenny, that's right.
Yeah.
So they're the final ones at the end. I must say, Coconut Pete's reveal was pretty horrific. When he comes crashing through the window. Oh my god, you probably didn't even notice, but when he's hanging on the rope, clearly the long shots of being on him for a long period is not him. The close-up shots are him. His lip is twitching the entire time. And then his eyes start to move. That's how great they were with the editing in this film.
Yeah, I feel like from the one thing I did like about this film, well,
You have something?
there's a few. The blooper reel at the end was better than the movie for me. The bloopers gave a lot away. The beginning bit because obviously Jay directed it and so did Kevin.
Yeah.
But Jay, you could tell, was directing a lot of it. Because in the bloopers they show him saying, "Cut, let's do it again, cut, let's do it again." And I think they may well have exceeded the amount of time they had with constantly re-recording. Because if you're improv, you don't nobody sticks to the same format time and time again. So it's not like you're going to get it in 3. Well, you might, but the chances are you won't. So you're probably going to do about anywhere between 10 to 15 takes just to get that one joke that you need, or get it to work. So my thought is they possibly didn't have time to finish certain things or reshoot certain things because they were so far in their dialogue.
Yeah.
They lost time, or they just weren't able to go back and do those bits. But I did really enjoy the blooper reel. I thought for me that was funnier than the actual film.
Brilliant. Oh, that's brilliant. So I was going to call him Jimmy there. Coconut Pete gets off on. DJ Dave who is actually Coconut Pete's nephew.
Hmm.
What I found funny is that Putman thought he had something over on Dave because he found out that he had. Oh, there's a dogfight going on outside. He found out that his parents was killed at a Coconut Pete's show, and he believes he's got something on him, and he's like, well, clearly he's the killer. And he does this whole massive reveal after he's just found out that his uncle's just died, and he's like, well, you wanted him dead because he killed your parents. And everyone's like, Putman, you're an absolute arsehole. Everyone knew that Dave's parents died at a Coconut Pete's show. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, Putman could never get a win at all.
Yeah.
He was deemed a dick from the minute you see him. The only redeeming quality he has is right at the end at his death, when Jenny chains him to the bed thinking he's the killer, and he sacrifices himself for them to Thingy to run away. But what got me is their tennis racket was not there when they walked in that room. And he goes, pass me the tennis racket and the balls, and they are conveniently placed right next to where he needs them.
Part of me thinks that some of those might have been purposeful, though. Like, it seems like it was a continuity issue in the respect of that they didn't think about it at the time, or
Mm-hmm.
was it like to take the piss? Like, you blatantly see
That
it
would be
there.
his, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you could be right. Because he uses a tennis ball to ward off this serial killer with a machete.
Yeah, how did that work out for you, Putman?
I love the fact that when he's dying, and we're in, because when you don't get to see him die, and to be honest, you don't get to see a lot of them die. There's only Cliff, I think you get to see.
Cliff with the when he
Cliff
got
with a
slashed
cut
across
across
the
the
stomach
stomach.
because he was
Hank
dressed as a
gets
pear, wasn't he?
Yeah, Hank
Yeah.
gets his throat cut. So anything that's cutting,
Mm.
yes. But even at the beginning, well, her from USA High, she gets her head chopped off. We don't even get to see that.
No, and you only get to see Rolo get slashed.
So there's a lot of slashing, and that's really as far as they go.
Maybe that's all the makeup department was really allowed or set up to do, or they were going for a different kind of rating possibly, and that's where they were like, oh well, we can only take it this far.
Yeah,
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what it was rated.
I
So
didn't go and check.
probably an R with the amount of tits in it, to be
A
fair.
lot of tits.
A
There
lot
are
of
a
tits.
lot of tits.
And then there was boobs too.
Hey! Putman's death, though, when we go into the shower with Lars and Jenny, and it's the whole quiet while he's out the other outside, but Putman's getting killed at the same time, and he's like, I always knew it was you, I suspected it was you, and they were like, tell his fucking name, and he just dies. But he dribbles on for ages before it gets to that point.
Mm.
So the whole when Drew Barrymore pulls the mask off, which I watched this weekend. I watched Scream instead
I,
of
I
this.
I still like the first film. The first film for me will always be the best one because it was what it was. It
Yeah,
was Wes with a sense of humor, royally ripping the entire genre. And now it seems old hat, and now it seems tired to anybody who watches it with today's eyes. But back in 96, 94, 96, when it came out, it was brand new. No one had
yeah.
done that sort of shit before.
Now
So
everyone's doing it.
exactly.
What we're doing right now. I generally like when it came down to picking, I was thinking of doing something from Scream, but I was like, you know what? Our Ghostface episode's really good, and I wouldn't want to take away from that. So I was like, maybe it's too soon. It was our highest rated highest rated episode on Spotify for 2024. So
Was, yeah.
just yeah, I couldn't take from it. I was like, I really shouldn't have picked this one to be fair, but I
No,
did.
like you say, it's choices. Your choice you wanted to do.
Fucking many choices when it comes to this film. I understand, like, I'm not stupid. I do get why anyone would roll an eye. Like, I cannot stand this film. But for some reason, it gets me right in the funnies. And it's also a horror element as well. So it's like, and I love if anyone caught any part of the Nerdy Up North 12-hour charity stream, I clearly love my parody movies because it's predominantly what I picked. But I don't class this as parody. It's unless you are just literally parodying. Parodying?
Parodying, making a parody of.
Thank you for English. Making a parody of it, I don't feel like that's what it's doing unless it's making a parody of one in particular film, and I couldn't tell you what that particular film was.
No, I'd say it exploits the tropes. It literally takes the tropes and it just drills them into the ground. Like it will. You think you've heard that joke once, then you've heard it 50 times, and it's not because of repetition. I think it's all part of their plan. This is what I think with this movie when I've come away from it. Everything that you think is just a repeat joke or a possible continuity error, I feel
Yeah.
like they've done all that on purpose because that's part of their sense of humor. And like I say, when you feel like it's a big in joke
Uh-huh.
that you're not quite privy to, and I feel like that's what a lot of this is. Like they've done a lot of these things because it made them laugh when they were editing and maybe made them laugh when they were filming, and then it just didn't make it quite out there for a lot of people. Like they didn't quite get it, which if you've edited shit to pieces, then there's every chance that people wouldn't. But you get the fact that it is a trope exploitation movie, basically.
Yeah, it does have one slight homage, as in something that can be directly pinpointed to a film, is the actual story of the former employee being tricked into having sex with a corpse. It resembles the backstory of Terror Train from 1980. So there's one
To do, but I want to do.
really
Yeah, it's on the list.
Interesting.
Jamie Lee Curtis again, so
Shit, okay, I'll trust you on that one. The Fog is still like up there, like loved it. So yeah, they did use some homage in this. It's just it doesn't feel like a great deal when all you're dealing with is funny horror trope after funny horror trope. We'll just chuck another funny horror trope in, as in the ending with Sam. Holy shit, did that go on longer than what it needed to?
but it's that Family Guy thing. And I love Seth MacFarlane. And for all of the facts that people say, oh, I don't like Family Guy, I don't like American Dad, I love them because they are stupid. They say what they feel. And that is something you don't get a lot of now. And I don't know, I
agree.
just appreciate the humor a little bit. So they have that, there's always that thing where Seth pushes it past funny. Like he'll take
Yeah.
a joke and more so in Family Guy than in American Dad, but you know, like when Peter falls over, hits his knee, Lois nicks her boob. Doing that for about 45 minutes, and then you're just like, I've got things to do here. Are we cracking on? You know, like
Yeah.
he
I
can.
get like Charlie Day in Always Sunny when he's like, "Yep, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry it up." Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. I did get a full voice note though of my best friend yesterday after she scuffed her knee, going, "Yeah,
Ooh, yeah.
yeah." I get. No, I do get it. Sam's death scenes were hilarious. I tell you what, mind that he looked spectacular when he came out of that mud bath. He looked like a genuine angel.
My favourite bit was the end bit with just the legs. Like
Right, because it
those
said
little
the end.
the little wind up fishies when you were a kid in the bath. That's what it reminded me of. And it's just like
And it also came up with an end. Yeah, so firstly, you think Sam's being killed by the killer in this mud bath. When in actual fact the reveal turns out that he is the killer. Now what got me is when he opens his eyes up, instead of going, "Oh my god, Sam, you're alive," they go, "You're the killer?" He doesn't even give any inkling or in anything away that he was the killer. They just instantly, "I knew it was you." But
Did
that
you?
beautiful. Nah, they didn't. That beautiful smile, though. He does have a genuinely beautiful smile and very white teeth. And they looked incredibly whiter when he was against, all the mud. And it does go through the multitudes of Michael Myers deaths.
Yeah.
The first one is when they have the final the final reveal of his master plan, which is literally just it was so pathetic. It was a terrible reason to do what he did. He kills everyone on the island all because Coconut Pete was given the island to Dave. That was it. That was the whole reason why he made all these terrible decisions. But he has I do love the reveal, with all the bodies in there. That is some creepy shit.
They're
Where
all in.
everyone just
Yeah.
in the club and everything, all the lights turn on and you just start seeing them all around. Like a museum of bodies everywhere. You get to see you as well, who you didn't get to, all you saw was Yu's hands.
Yeah, because she just disappeared, didn't she? You heard her screaming and run off, and then you never
She
saw her
got
again.
murdered with Hank. So when Hank's in the when Hank's in the sand and Coconut Pete's going, Hank, buddy, wake up. It's the hands that you see are Yu's,
Right.
and then Hank's head. So Yu's in there somewhere. So you get to see her hanging up on the wall, the wall of death. She's up there. So yeah, that was his grand plan. So he gets stabbed here and he ends up or he gets sliced here and he ends up walking away from that. They then run onto they jump off a cliff into water. This is your final lot, by the way. This is Lars, Jenny, and Penelope and Juan, and they jump off into the water, and then all of a sudden they find a boat, because they do. And as they're heading towards the boat, Sam just appears out of nowhere. He didn't splash in the water.
Yep.
He's got a cut on his stomach, and he's in seawater.
We're talking Jason Voorhees at the end, Ari Lehman, Jason Voorhees at the end of #1. The way
Whoosh!
he just salmons it out of the water.
What was he using to literally push himself off?
I will never understand how they get that kind of height from what is potentially about 40 feet down. So
They can't. They can't. So yeah, he actually just vaults out of the water onto whatever little decking that they're on. Does he gets hit in the head again, so that knocks him out, and then he gets tied up against the post. Am I right?
I think so.
Yeah, he gets tied up against the post. All the while he's actually just killed Juan as well. Yeah, he gets tied up against the actual decking, and Lars loops the rope around him, and he looks like he's dead. They go back around and he wakes back up again. He then becomes halved, so his legs have now gone, and he slumps. That slump was lovely, mind, where he just kind of like just gracefully fell into the water. And then 2 minutes later, his torso comes back, and Lars yeets him.
Yep.
Literally yeets him away. And then the movie ends and you just see his little legs in the water. It's so funny.
The legs were funny, I'll give it that. They're just a little.
Honestly, I'm happy I've done it because it's out of my system now and I never have to go back and talk about it again. But there's just something so special for me of this film. And again, I don't know how I even found it. It just
No one can take that
appeared.
from you, though. That's the thing. You wanted to do this film, and that is cool. Now you've done it.
And we
It
can
doesn't
forget
matter if
about
everybody else loves it or not. I know. See, that's the weird thing. When you have a film that you really enjoy, you want
Yeah.
people to love it. You want people to see what you see in it. And I think it's one of those things where I vaguely knew of it
Mm-hmm.
because I remember Coconut. I knew as soon as you said
Coconut
Coconut
Pete.
Pete, Bill Paxton, my brain went, I know this. And I thought I'd seen it, but I definitely hadn't. When I started watching it, I was like, no, I have not seen this. I would remember this.
There's a little place called Pleasure Island, and that's where I want to meet you.
It gave me like I feel like Spooky Island in Scooby-Doo was like a watered down like theme park version of whatever the fuck Pleasure Island is, you know. It's just like it had this weird vibe that was just very strange.
It was. I'm not gonna. I can't. I can't knock some of the kills in here. One was. Oh, what got me? One of my favorite kills is the television in the pool.
Yes.
However, where's that television plugged into?
The magic wall out there.
I am very practical in this.
The
That there's
coconut tree behind him. I don't know.
there is no way that telly is plugged into anything. I
Yeah.
don't even think it. It's like in The Shining when Danny's watching the telly and the television is in the middle of the room. It's not plugged in. There's no plugs whatsoever. There's no wires. And one of the banes of my fucking existence is wires. So I do particularly look. There was none. So yeah, I was like, there's no wire on that. That is not. And I was like, my brain couldn't move away from that. But I do love the how it looks.
Yeah.
And that obviously is the point of it. But I love how it looks, how he holds the telly over his head while Amy Aerobics is playing, and it just chucks it in the water. She's so quick to get out that water. She's
She
still
shoots
touching
off.
it though.
Yeah, 100% she would have still got electrocuted.
Yeah. Can't kill her off though.
No.
She's pretty on the eye. Very pretty on the eye. And yeah, there was some impressive kills in it for all that it wasn't gory or there was still imaginative. And again, I don't see this movie as taking the piss. It's not like Scary Movie where it is, going out of its way to make fun of this. I don't feel like this is what they're doing. I just think this is their with their humor, their attempt of horror.
Right.
That's how I see it as.
Mm.
Always
Oh,
have
I get
done.
it. Yeah, no, I get it.
But I'm not going to urge anyone to go out and watch it because I get it. I'm not daft, but I will so go. What I will say is go and watch Super Troopers because
Yes.
that is hilarious, and it's weird because I really thought Steve Lemire was actually had the same accent as Juan. It does not at all. Very American.
Yeah.
I got the kill count. 16.
Really? I would have said more. I felt more. I don't know why. Felt more.
16. 12 male, 4 female. Q? You? 2 less at the beginning. Who's the fourth one? Who's the fourth woman?
I
Don't know.
couldn't tell you.
No, don't know. But apparently, kill count was 16. I'm going to go with that. That's why I got off one of the because Club Dread actually does have its own wiki page, dedicated fan page.
That doesn't surprise me. I feel like there would be there would be. It does come into a weird cult movie
Yeah.
status, and I can see why it would be.
Yeah.
For sure.
Did you find any reviews?
I did.
Oh my goodness. I'm loving this, by the way. And my videos come together so well it's great. Sorry, I need to do this for the actual video. So Dan, have you got any 1-star reviews?
I do. I have one that was on Rotten Tomatoes, and it was given a splat, which obviously is not good. And it comes from Victoria, and she wrote, "No, no, no!" with an exclamation mark, which I just thought was short and sweet, because all the rest was people really moaning about the amount of tits and arse there, wasn't it? And that was it. That was purely, and they weren't like prudish moans. It was just like, I've heard that same joke reworded 50 times. And that was what a lot of the 1-stars were. But I got another one off of IMDb. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
I'd rather sell a kidney that had been sat in the fridge, unexplained as to its origins, for over 3 months with intermittent power to it, whilst riding a penny farthing across the treacherous mountain pass of Bolivia's Road of Death, than watch that again.
These go on TikTok, Sam. These go on TikTok.
1 out of 10, Bleeding marvellous.
Oh. Is that you?
That's me. That's my 1-star review. Thank you.
Dan, read that again.
I'd rather sell a kidney that had been sat in the fridge, unexplained as to its origins, for over 3 months with intermittent power to it, whilst riding a penny farthing across the treacherous mountain pass of Bolivia's road of death, than watch that again.
Oh my God.
I can be eloquent when I wish.
A penny farthing.
Mm-hmm. Good day, sir.
Don't be a dick.
Good day.
Wow, you orc. The bleeding marvelous big goddess. I'm always
1
like,
star.
what?
To be fair, it is a very loved film. If you go on to Google reviews, there's no 1s, 2s, or 3s. It's all 4 and 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
IMDb is a little bit different. It's like I say, the 1-star reviews on that are literally people complaining about the amount of the joke, one joke being recycled. And then when you go on to Rotten Tomatoes, the critic, she was a critic, and that's what she put. But a lot of the non-critics,
She's a critic, and all she came up with was no,
yeah,
no.
they got sterner. It was like,
Oh, okay, that makes it better.
it was no, comma, no, comma, no with an exclamation mark. So she was getting more frantic, you know. So it was just like,
Wow. Yeah, it got 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. I thought that was pretty impressive.
I will
Because
say, yeah, for what it is, I don't think that's a bad score
no,
at all. It is a beloved film for a lot of people. They do like this. So
it's just hard to put into words why. Because you do realise other people have to watch it.
it's of its
Like
time.
yourself.
It's definitely of its
I
time.
wondered why you were quiet last night. Oh, I should have known something was up. I should have known. Did you do a link to it though?
Did I do my 666 of Jake's?
Degrees of Jake.
Of course I did.
Something came up the other day, and it was, what were we watching? And it had Chris Columbus's name in it, and I was like, yeah. No, I can't remember what the film was now. Go on then.
Are we sitting comfortably?
Hang
Then
on,
I shall begin.
sticking to my chair. Go on.
I know, it's really warm. Brittany Daniel played Jenny, but the Always Sunny fans will know her as Mac's girlfriend, Carmen.
Yay.
Pablo Schreiber also had a cameo in Always Sunny, playing
Beautiful.
Ricky Falcone. Pablo has starred in Halo as Master Chief, Orange is the New Black as Pornstache, and my personal favourite, American Gods, Mad Sweeney. One of my favourite, if not the favourite actors to portray the devil is Mr. Peter Stormare. He plays Chernbog in American Gods. Chernbog is famously depicted as a demonic figure in Disney's movie Fantasia, which the surrealist painter Salvador Dali made some illustrations for, but it never made it to the final cut. Salvador had a great relationship with Coco Chanel, who was played by Shirley MacLaine in the 2008 made-for-TV movie. Shirley's brother is Mr. Warren Beatty, Dick Tracy himself. Warren starred in the movie Bulworth alongside Sean Austin, who played Billy in 1991's Toy Soldiers, alongside Keith Coogan, who played Brad in American Adventures in Babysitting.
Did not see where you.
I was taking a detour on that one.
Oh, didn't you?
Yeah, I was getting there. But I thought I'd veer off. I could have
No,
done
that was.
too, but I was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna go around.
That was impressive. You got Pablo Picasso in there, and Coco Chanel,
Coco Chanel, got Salvador Dali, got
Salvador Dali. That's what bloody Pablo Picasso.
Disney's
Fucking hell.
Fantasia.
You tell I'm not the arses in the family.
Got a few in there. Yeah, the fact that completely floored me was I had no idea Warren Beatty was Shane MacLaine's brother.
I did.
I didn't know, and I don't know why. Like sometimes I find something out and I think, oh, I did know that, but this doesn't ring like I knew it. Like I was
Like I
having one of
feel
those
like I
moments.
know that.
Yeah, like I had one of those moments where I was like, no, I genuinely do not know that, because eventually, originally I was going to bring it to Still Magnolias and go from there. And I was like, no, no. And then I saw Warren Beatty was a brother, and I was like, oh, because that makes sense, because Sean Austin was an Aston sorry, was in that, and then I can link that to Toy Soldiers because Keith was in Toy Soldiers with Sean. So like,
That's impressive. That honestly, that is absolutely impressive. Well done. Well fucking done.
welcome.
So, as part of Slashoween, we have had the final girls and we've had Club Dread. I did my little buddy Demi from work. I got her to watch Final Girls, and she loved it that much. She texted me and went, "Is there another one?" And I was like, "No." And she went, "But why? They were leading on to a second one." She was like, "You're telling me there's not a second one?" I was like, "No, Demi, sorry." She was devastated there wasn't a second movie out.
I am surprised they never went through with making the second one from the end where it led, but I'm glad they didn't in one way because I feel like it would be going into that weird continuous sequel thing, and then that would have had to have been a whole thing, and it would have gone away from
And
the purpose, which was Marlene.
yeah, and the idea is that we're celebrating the genre. We're not going to recreate what actually happened to the slasher genre
Mm,
by continuously keep bringing out the same thing
yeah,
over and over again, just with a different scenario.
yeah.
Yeah, no, she was devastated. Right, it's your turn. It's your turn. It's going to be
What
better
was
than this one.
it? Right, okay. So this is technically a double feature,
Oh,
but
okay. Mm-mm.
it's not in the reboot hash thing. It's like a continuation, but they've been done very far apart, right?
Oh,
So I'll whittle it down and then I'll tell you what it is because I don't think you're going to guess this, but I'll give you the write up for the two films.
oh, okay.
The story of a berserk hooded killer who terrorized the border town of Texarkana, Arkansas in 1946, leaving no fewer than 5 murder victims in his wake. He was never caught, and it was based on one of America's most baffling murder cases. That's the first one.
Texarkana,
The
right?
second one, 65 years after a masked serial killer terrorized the small town of Texarkana, the so-called Moonlight Murders begin again. Is it a copycat or is it something even more sinister? A lonely high school girl may be the key to catching him.
Oh, a fucking clue.
Right, the original was in 1974,
Mm-hmm.
and then the second one that they made was in 2014. And it's a documentary style film, the second one, but the first one is based on the actual thing. So it is very well done. These two, I think, they sit really well together.
Uh-huh.
And for those of you that want to know the name of the film, it is called The Town That Dreaded Sundown.
Fuck off.
Yeah. So
You said we were going serious.
yeah, yeah. I
Wow,
mean,
you
I
meant
liked it.
it.
I think it'll be a happy swerve because we've done two
I think
last
it'll
year.
be a fucking brilliant detour from the shit show that we've just done tonight.
Oh, shit show. It
It
is.
was a shit show, Dan.
It
Let's
has a
not.
place. It has a place. But like this one is. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but it's like it's a weird one because when you watch it, you'll understand what I mean. If anybody who hasn't seen it, go and watch it, but make sure to watch the 74 one first. And it's
Uh-huh.
very of its time, just remember that. And then
Oh,
you'll
look
get
at
the
that
exposition you
poster.
need for going into the 2014 one, which is kind of like a document. It's kind of like a documentary, but it's yeah, it's just done really, really well. I mean, it's been a very long time, in fairness, since I've watched them both.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to do this because I feel like it sits perfectly in the slasher. Because
Oh, he wears it like an almost burlap sack.
yeah, and he wears like a Jason overcoat, and it's based on a true story. So there's a lot of
What?
loosely based on a true story. So there's a lot to this. So I just thought, oh, the potential for the research is quite good on this. So
I might have to do a little bit myself, mind. I
she
might have
can't
to take
help
some.
herself.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I'm just. I'll take some notes.
Some little note.
Little notes.
Yeah, so
Little notes.
we're going there next. We're going to
That.
Texarkana in
Oh,
Arkansas.
fucking hell. So I knew I was going to throw a curveball with this one. I did. So I thought to myself, for the next one, it has to be a fucking good one. And what I've come up with is shit. And now you've just raised the fucking bar. Like anything I do afterwards, it's just wah, wah.
No, I think anybody who's got any ideas, and especially Mike Kell, because I know you're probably chomping at the bit, Mike.
Message me.
I was
Don't
gonna
message
say,
her.
do not message me. I do not want to know what the next film is. This is the whole point in Slashoween. We don't tell each other until the actual reveal.
Do you know?
I'm sure Mike's got about 1,000 ideas to pass your way if you're really not that happy about the idea that you have for the next one. I'm sure Mike could.
It's no. I've got two in mind. One could be classed as a cult style film.
Right.
And the other one is She Is Stupid. And I've already done fucking ridiculous. So do I really want to go down the She Is Stupid route? But do I do? I'm looking at it right now and I'm like, I really want to do it, but I just don't know how. You would love it.
Right.
But I've also got to think about everyone else. Do I really care about anyone else? That's the question.
That's the thing. I mean, it's your choice. You can do what you like. I've just wanted to do this one for a while, but never really we've never really got around to it.
No, and it's something, unless you see it,
yeah,
I will never think of it.
Yeah, because it's one of it's been on my, if anybody goes on my Facebook page, on the Bleeding Marvelous Facebook page, there is a album of movies you should watch that I haven't updated in a very, very long time.
I was going to say, is it?
When I first started the page, every time I watched something that I was really into, I would put the front sheet in there, and there's about 40 something films in there. I really need to go back and put some more in there, but then I clog up your feeds with nonsense. But yeah, it's been in there. The 2014 one's been in there for a very, very long time. So it's been a long time. That would have been the last time I would have watched it. So I'm curious to go back and watch it and see if it is as good as I remember. But I do think it's a staple that people don't talk about enough, this one, because it's slasher. It's tropes, because if you take a look at him, he looks like Jason.
I love that look though. I don't care like if it's rinse and repeat of the same Jason, like that Jason look. I love that look.
But bear in mind, this was loosely based off of a real killing that happened in the 40s. So it predates Jason. So
he was known as the Phantom Killer. Oh my god, I was so excited. Wow, this is going to be a huge turning point from this week's episode. Because that's I'm so excited. And I think I've just because of this, because of your pick, it's now made me, I know what I'm going to do. And I think you'll like it. I think it's a solid choice.
Right.
It's actually the same year as yours. So
either 74 or 2014. I'm going to go with 2014.
I'm not telling you which one. I'm not telling you which one.
I'll go with 2014.
Well, if you want to listen to the shit show of an episode or watch us, we're on.
It's not that bad, woman.
The thing is, though, I'm not delusional to the fact that it is a terrible film. I just really like it.
Look, just because I'd rather sell a kidney that was in a fridge that didn't work and then cycle a penny farthing across the mountain.
It's the penny farthing, like, of all the things, a penny farthing. You are tiny. You will never be able to reach them pedals.
I might have leg extensions on and it might be a motorised penny farthing.
It's like my mother. My mother used to tell us she used to ride one. I was like, you fucking didn't. You'd never be able to reach it. She's smaller than you.
I may switch it up to a unicycle. Who knows?
Unicycle.
Whilst juggling the kidneys. This is getting weird, so.
Yeah. We are available every Monday on the Nerdy Up North YouTube channel. The episodes usually drop at 8 o'clock in the morning, but if you hit the notification bell, you will never miss an episode. But if you don't want to watch us, totally fine. If you want to listen to me laugh my way through that episode, we will be available on the same day from anywhere you get your podcast from. We are going through a little bit of a transition at the moment. We are moving our RSS feed. We will predominantly be more on Spotify, but you will still get us on Apple iTunes. I don't know how that holds out for anywhere else, but up until now, we are from anywhere you get your podcast from. The links for Bleeding Marvelous, Monsters Up North, Nerdy Up North are where, Dan?
They're down there.
Down there with your lovely orange and green nails.
It's my high vis. I'm going for full on neon 90s rave.
Good, you really are. There is no limit. Enjoy yourself there.
It's the heat, right? I want people to know when you watch or listen to this episode and you've got this far. Firstly, well done.
Well done.
Secondly, it's 32 motherfucking degrees here with no air conditioning for all your Americans. I'm not moaning about the weather. It's just that this we are now on probably month 2 of this. We in England have a week of this normally, just 1 week of where it hits 28, maybe 30, and then it dies off, never to be seen again for the rest of the year. We are in somewhere of week 4 or 5 of this nonsense, where it has been consistently 25 plus, no air conditioning. Our houses are like saunas.
Mine's made out of brick.
Solid
brick.
Brick. We're talking not just your grey bricks. No, we have red bricks on the outside of the grey bricks, so it all holds the heat in. The windows don't do shit because all they do is blow in hot air.
I also have 3 cats who are indoor cats. Cannot have the windows open.
So we are delirious. Today is another 32-degree day, so we are somewhere in there.
I am so regretting having my hair down. So it's literally sticking. Like, I don't know how many times I have pulled it off the side of my face. Up until we recorded, I actually had all my hair up. I took it down and straightened it.
I've had my hair down all day because obviously I had it done yesterday.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh no, I'll wear it down. No. Did I forget my water at work? Yes. Honestly, it's been one of those days where I'm severely dehydrated, so that's probably why I'm a tiny bit delirious. I have tried to drink this, then I got the hiccups halfway through this. So if you do hear hiccups, that's me as well. Yeah.
Well, thanks for putting up with me episode. At least it's done. I never have to talk about it again. You all know how I feel about it, and I totally appreciate how you all feel about it.
It's gonna come.
I get it.
It's gonna come up again. You know we're gonna talk about this again at some point.
Of course we are, because now it's going to be one of those comparison things where it's like, well, they did it on the Club Dread, and they did it.
I'll tell you now, I can guarantee you this will probably be a really good viewed episode. Or listen to episode. It's going to be one of those ones that we didn't think would do anything, and then out of nowhere it's going to be like views, listens, and we'll both be sitting there going,
why?
It always seems to be the ones we have we both go into it before we come on, and we both say to each other,
this will be a short one.
We ain't got a lot for this one.
Long for this one. That'll be short.
No, and then 2 hours later we're both sitting there going, well,
I tell you, the first time we ever did that, Bride of Frankenstein, because we were so worried because it was so condensed, the information. We both had very much the same notes, and we were like, oh, how the fuck are we going to stretch this out? Well, if it's our shortest episode, it's our short. It's one of those things. At least we'll get the major part. We went on for fucking ages, and it turned out to be a really good fucking episode.
It did, yeah.
I don't have high hopes for this one, though. I'm not going to lie.
Well, at this point, I would have just met Jack and Kelly Osbourne this weekend. So, because it's the big, it's not for those of you that are listening, back to the beginning, Ozzy's farewell concert was not this weekend, not as in yesterday, the weekend before. And they stayed on in the UK to do the convention in Birmingham at the NEC this weekend, which we're working at. So you've got Sid, you've got Kelly, which their proposal was hilarious, by the way.
What a proposal.
I loved Ozzy. You're not fucking marrying my daughter. It's like, yes, go on. But I loved it. I just thought it was really lovely. So Jack in the background, Sharon was sat there,
They were
Oz
all
sat
there,
there,
weren't they?
everybody was
Amy
there.
was there.
Was
She
she
just,
hiding? She
yeah,
don't. Yeah, she don't do the.
no, she don't do the cameras or nothing. And people know now enough to respect you don't put the camera in her face. However, there was a very touching moment with her Birmingham family
Mm.
outside, and they were like our aunties, our brother, you know, from Ozzy's first marriage, like a half brother, and it was a lovely. She is because people were like, yeah, I didn't realize Ozzy had another daughter, and it's like, is Sharon our mum? And it's like, look at her, she's the fucking image of Sharon.
Amy, I will say, Amy and Kelly look very, very much like Sharon. Obviously, Kelly more so now because they
They
clearly go
both
to
have the
the
same
same
look.
people.
Amy kind of does in a way, by the way, a
But
little bit.
Amy is down when you look her up as an actress and a singer. So she's
Hmm.
obviously not stayed out of the limelight. So she's
No,
gonna have.
no, she just wanted to do it on her own.
But yeah, so I'm gonna. I said to Rob, obviously, I just can't afford to meet Ozzy. As sadly as that is, it's £1,000 to meet Ozzy, and I can't do it. I can't justify that, even though I'd love to. But I think part of it would make me sad because, like, I saw the video. A lot of people might have seen the TikTok. We're going way off here, but some people might have seen the TikTok
Better conversation in the fucking film.
well, Dom, Youngblood, the whole. Did you see that video where
Oh my goodness.
he had Ozzy the replica chain that Ozzy gave
Yeah,
Youngblood,
did Great Frog, Great
the
Frog do
Great Frog?
that?
I
The
think
Great
he
Frog,
did
they
it.
did
Yeah.
that, didn't they?
And they had the box made, and I've never seen Ozzy look so grateful, and he has
Yeah.
such time for Dom. It's like he's like, you got to take America, then you got to take the world, and you got to do this, you've got to do this. And it was just the way he was. There was no disingenuousness with Ozzy.
No.
Like every interaction I've seen since just before Back to the Beginning and after
Hmm.
it, he,
It's just
I think, was
beautiful.
overcome with how much people wanted to
Oh,
see him. And
yeah.
I did hear an interview. There is a voiceover that's going around that people are using at the moment, which is heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking, where he apologizes to everybody, where he's saying, I didn't take any painkillers leading up to this, so I could sing for you because I needed to be clear to be able to do what you wanted me to do. But I'm sorry, I was strapped into a chair. I couldn't, he can't keep his head up because of the Parkinson's is at stage 5 now. So I feel like as much as I would love to, I think it
Hmm.
would break me in half.
Yeah. It's
And I
it's
know
very,
it means nothing to him because he doesn't know this random bird. But
but
at the
you
same
mean
time,
everything to him. That's the thing. It's the whole Tim Curry at conventions.
I've met him, and that broke my heart. I'm not
I
gonna lie.
just I don't yeah, I'm not think I think he is a strong enough person to turn around and say, I'm done with this, I'm not doing this no more. And it's got
He
nothing to do
did.
with the fact that I think that he is being forced into doing something he doesn't want to do. It's just as a fan, I just I don't know, I can't I couldn't put myself in. I just think it'd be so hard.
Yeah. This is his last hurrah. The Back to the Beginning was his last singing. This is his last UK appearance.
Yeah.
You'll not see
We
him
not
again.
see him. No, you won't. And the next, oh, it's just, um, I missed out on seeing him in Newcastle in the early 2000s. Him was supporting him. So my dad had getting my sister, because my sister was a huge him fan, and obviously I love Ozzy. Um, Surprisingly, Perry Mason is my favorite Ozzy Osbourne song. Who knew? I like this show, Perry Mason. Um, but yeah, so my dad had bought us tickets jointly to like because it was both our things, and they cancelled, and
Yeah.
I ended up having to take my sister to fucking Glasgow to go and see him on their own. That was horrible. Yeah, so I missed out on seeing Ozzy then. However, I did see Black Sabbath at Download.
Yeah.
And it had to have been either 2004, 2005, no later than 2005, because that's like the last time. Actually, it might have been like earlier, 2003. Um, Anyways, when I saw them, and he ran circles around the majority of the bands I played that day. He was the headlining act, and oh my god, his energy levels were unreal. So I'm glad I got to see him in that capacity. But watching him over the weekend, I didn't feel any pity or sad. Like I felt sad for him, but I also had a lot of like a love that he did this. When he was talking, you could clearly hear his illness. When
Yeah.
he was singing, it wasn't there anymore. It was
Yeah, because
gone.
that's what he said in the voiceover that's doing the rounds. He says, you know, music is my painkiller. That's
Yeah,
what I've
I
used it
get
for.
it. I
But he
totally
says
get
this
it.
lovely thing about Sharon. He says Sharon is the hand that pulls me out of the darkness, and
Mm,
it was so beautifully worded, and you can hear for the first time. I've got to be honest, we're all so used to hearing people doing the Sharon, I'm Ozzy, and I'm speaking very slowly, and I talk all like that.
yeah.
You know, we're all used to the caricature of Ozzy, but in this voiceover, he doesn't have a Birmingham accent. It's
No,
pretty
it
much
doesn't.
gone, but he's got such an eloquent, you can hear him
It's
properly.
beautiful.
His voice is
I'm not saying the Birmingham accent isn't. It's just he
no, but it's
sounds it.
he's crisp. Like you can hear every
Yes,
word he's
it's
saying,
clear.
and he's very pronunciated, and there's no slurring, and
No.
it's just he gets to the point of what he wanted to do, which was to say he was sorry, he tried his best,
Oh,
and that his wife made everything for him, and he's so glad he managed to give to everybody what they wanted before he was no longer here. Um, and I don't know if this is true or not, but there was a story that was going around to say that Ozzy and Sharon have sat all the kids down and said that when it's Ozzy's time,
I
they're going
heard
to
this.
Switzerland and Sharon's
Yeah,
going with them.
yeah, I heard this.
They're going to go jointly.
There was a very open debate about this, and
Mhm.
it was the idea. It wasn't to say that it. I can't put into words what people because I could understand both sides.
Mm.
I don't know how true that is. You know, you've got no idea.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one to talk about because I,
Everybody's going to feel just some which way about
yeah,
it. We've all got
yeah,
family members that have been in pain. We've all
yeah,
got people that we've seen, and there's always the debate, you know, oh, well, you wouldn't do that to a dog. Why are you doing it to a person? You know, you do it to a dog, so why wouldn't you do it to, but that whole that you
yeah.
hear all the
I think
time, you
it's
wouldn't let an animal be in pain, so why would you let
I think it
human,
was
you know?
more the fact that Sharon was going to go with him and
Yeah,
she is fine.
but we don't know. She might not be.
We don't no, we don't. We
And
don't.
that's what a lot of people take for granted. We see Sharon as she is. You've got to remember, Sharon is mid to late 70s now.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know if she's got any underlying health
No.
issues. She doesn't want to make any of that public because it's nobody else. The weird thing about
Look at what happened when she told people she took Ozempic. Come on. No, would she
and
really want to talk to people about anything else?
exactly, and as far as she's concerned, this is about Ozzy. All of
Yeah.
this is Ozzy.
Oh my God.
So,
What he did for Birmingham over the weekend is nothing short than fucking amazing.
mhm,
He has put so much money into that area for just being there for one night. The whole To be honest, me and Ant were talking about this because we were looking at downloading for this year, and when we saw the lineup, oh my God, so so, but this is, I'm not saying it's so bad for everyone. It's so bad for us.
yeah,
We are at a certain age when there was bands who were headlining when I used to go in the early 2000s who were on a third and fourth stage.
yeah,
It's just mind-boggling to me.
yeah.
So when we were looking at that and then look at the prices and look at the prices of Aussie Show, but the bands, we were like, I'd have paid for that more than I would ever have paid for that.
Yeah, when you read the lineup and you were looking at it and you had like Metallica, Anthrax, Lamb of God, you had Papa from Ghost, you had Youngblood, you had
That's not including all the little special guests that they had that they didn't even
yeah.
announce that were there.
Yeah, I can't even begin to remember. I've got the live stream. I want to sit down and put like
Yeah,
time into it. I've got it.
Jack
I
Black was
can't
there.
watch it while I'm too hot because I'm annoyed, and then I'll go lose interest because I'm not focusing. So I want to
Yeah,
watch it
there's a
as a concert as a whole. I've got it. I'm gonna watch it. So
there's a lovely moment where he's with Jack on the stage and he's thanking everyone. He says, I'm so glad I got to do this in front of my grandbabies and blah blah blah." And then and then all of a sudden he's mentioned all these most important people in his life, and he goes, "Do you know what? I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for one person." And still to this day, he remembers Randy Rhoads. Like that still person is still so important to him.
mm.
It's just such an it's honestly it's a beautiful thing that he can still keep honouring him. I can hear Anne sorting the ice machine out.
on that
On that note, yeah. No, honestly, I'm glad we got to talk about it because I totally forgot to talk to you about it before we came on. So
Yeah,
it was
no,
fun.
it's one of those things. I'm going to meet Kelly and Jack because
Yes.
why not? Um, and I probably will look like their lost sister, just so you know, because those of you that are friends with me on Facebook, it is part of my bio to say that I'm Kelly Osbourne's body double. Prior to the Kelly Osbourne that we know now, I'm talking about Kelly Osbourne when she was in the Osbournes. But yeah,
I didn't
it's
even
just
know
been.
she was with Sid, you know.
Oh God, yeah, they got baby together and everything. They got little
Yeah.
Sid. They got little,
Sydney.
yeah. So they've been
No.
together for I want to say 3-4 years.
But they were childhood friends though. They've known each other forever.
Yeah,
And
Corey
then
was introduced to Ozzy in '99. So when Slipknot played, it was technically Jack that got Slipknot on. Um,
Ozfest?
it might have been Ozfest, but it was on a show that they were doing together in '99. And
Hmm.
Ozzy came up to Corey and said, "You're that guy from Slipknot, aren't you?" And Corey was like, "Yeah." He said, "There's 9 of you, aren't there?" And he was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I want to be number 10," Ozzy said to Corey. So ever since then, they became like really good friends because they were all friends through Jack as well. So I don't know whether Kelly met Sid through
Yeah.
Jack, introducing the lot of them into into the world of Ozzy. But it's all very interbred because it is what it is. But yeah,
It
it's
was a
just one of those
beautiful,
things
beautiful
that
proposal.
yeah. I just thought it was hilarious. You're not fucking marrying my daughter.
And then when he realizes it's real, he was like, "Oh shit!" And then
Yeah.
he's like, "Let's look at the ring." Like he got like, he looked proud. He looked
Yeah.
so proud.
Well, it's a
Um,
lot, and then there was a lot of people going, "Well, they shouldn't have stole his thunder." That wasn't for everybody to see. Someone filmed it, yes, but
yeah,
that wasn't for the eyes of anybody else. I don't think.
and that was a moment
Yeah,
Ozzy will never forget. That moment at his night, like
it's just another
Kelly
thing.
means more to him than whatever was going on there. I
Yeah.
promise you. His daughter means more to him than the show that he did, even though it would have been very important. I get that.
Yeah, the only difference between that proposal and my proposal was I told Rob to fuck off.
At
Whereas
least you,
Kelly didn't. She just looked
uh,
at him. She did exactly what I did, which is put my hand over my mouth and go, because I was
is
so
that what you do?
confused. And then I just kept saying, fuck off, fuck off. So, yeah, so
Well,
obviously
at,
romantic.
at least you got one. I just got married. I skipped that part and
Yeah.
I just tied the knot.
She went all in.
I did. I literally did. I said we'll get married. We planned it for the October, and it was started planning in the May. There you go. Anyways, Dan, if there's nothing else left to say, say goodnight, Dan.
I'm coming home.
Stay spooky, everyone. Bye.